Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Mega Drive. And in this episode, we're going to be getting further through the game by going onwards to the next zones, Aquatic Ruin Zone and Casino Night. And Aquatic Ruin Zone is my personal least favourite level in the game. And why? Underwater sections. And I'm pretty sure you know that in most games, when there's underwater, the game really sucks. And that's the thing here with Sonic 2, because I mean, you know, Sonic's all about speed and all. You don't actually slow him down when you go underwater. It is kind of annoying and all. Although I have 50 rings, because I want to make sure that I do it nice and quick before I enter the water. Otherwise things will go slow and I'm at a lot of risk of trying to get hit. So in other words, I'm going to lose all my rings and I won't be able to access the special stage. And again, you know, I'm basically just going to go on about other things instead of the actual special stage because you can see the footage. I would say one thing. The big thing that I like about Sonic 2 the most is its balance between hardcore and casual gameplay. Because, I mean, the casual side of it, you know, for the people that don't really want to 100% games and all that, is just go through zones and try to beat it at the end of the level. Whereas for people who want a challenge and all, they can chase after the Chaos Emeralds. And trust me, chasing after the Chaos Emeralds is not easy. And I mean without save states, don't do it the way I did it in Sonic Mega Collection Plus, where it's just save states all the time and all that. So you know, I like how it just balances it. So it's appealing for challenging gamers and relaxing ones that just don't really care about collectibles and all. Although I for one like collectibles, because honestly my favourite genre of gaming is just collectathons, stuff like Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64. I don't know, I just really love collecting things in games. One thing I could go on about though in this special stage very briefly is this. Pretty much on each round you want to make sure that when you practice it you look really carefully and try to memorise it. Because honestly these special stages are trial and error. I am not expecting you to clear these in one shot, getting all 7 Chaos Emeralds, because you do have to take a couple of chances in order to do it. Although with that done, we now acquire the 3rd Chaos Emerald, which is red. The thing I never got is the second one was purple, whereas in the later ones in the Sonic games, purple was the last one. And for some reason it's the second. I don't know. You also changed the shape of them. Instead of making them sort of like hexagons or pentagons, let's just say, they were like gems. If you're similar to, you know, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, the gems you collect, it was a little bit similar to that. Although here's the lucky thing. Even though I said I don't like Aquatic Ruins for its underwater sections, if you stay at the top you can pretty much skip half the level. But it's just, you know, the whole enemy placement and the fact that you don't know what's coming. Because if you hit that spring, you know, and you're not doing a spin dash, you'd be able to crash into that enemy and you'd lose all your rings. So I really prefer, you know, just getting all 50 rings at the start and then making my way towards the end of the goal. Although that is pretty much Act 1 done in 1 minute and 23 seconds. Well, actually on my timer it's 3 minutes because, you know, we did this special stage and all that. But I'm pretty sure you know that already. Act 1 isn't too bad because it's short, but Act 2 is where it's really going to be difficult for you. Because if you fall underwater, oh god, it's so slow. I will agree it's not as worse as in Sonic 1 in Labyrinth Zone. Oh god, really hated that zone. Because in this one, you know, there may be underwater sections, but you can skip them. It wasn't like in Sonic Labyrinth Zone where you have to go underwater, or else you will die, you know. Whereas in this one, you have a decision, so that's all good. And this is what I mean, you see it right there, with the enemies, you can never predict when they're coming because they'll just suddenly burst out of the walls. So, you know, you've really got to be careful of where you're going. And unfortunately I fell in the water, so I'm gonna have to go slow. Underwater with Sonic the Hedgehog. Supposed to be fast. Although, it's actually a good thing that I'm underwater because this gives me a chance to show off something. And that's this. If you're unfamiliar with this and you don't have the instruction booklet for the game, you will want to do this. Because this will save you a lot of grief later on, I tell ya. When you're underwater, you're not able to breathe. And to stay alive, pretty much all you got to do is you got to wait for the bubbles to come underwater, and then you touch one to make sure, you know, that you can stay alive, because, you know, bubbles contain air and all that. At least some things make sense in Sonic, whereas Zelda's just, oh, apparently this is possible, even reality, it's not. I don't know, but still. This boss battle, I could do it the proper way, which is jump on the arrows, and then every time I jump on him, try to fall back. But I prefer doing it the other way, which gets him done much quicker. Sorry about that, I had a bit of an interruption like there, but yeah. So I just come back and I defeat Dr. Robotnik. That's great. It also feels quite good saying Dr. Robotnik. I personally prefer it over Dr. Eggman, but that's just me. If you prefer Eggman, then fair enough. I mean, it's your opinion. We all have opinions. Internet. But that is pretty much Aquatic Ruins done. Now onwards to Casino Night Zone, Act 1. And you know where before I was saying what's my favourite zone in the game? This one. I really, really like Casino Night Zone. It gives, like, you know, the feeling of like Las Vegas in an arcade, except this time you're the pinball. In other words, you know, when you spin around and all that, you're on the flippers. If you ask me, there's also evidence to why this was such a good level design, because why do you think they made Sonic Spinball? I mean, Sonic was basically a pinball, and he was bouncing around on these flippers trying to get the high scores and everything. If you ask me, I think it was inspired by, you know, Casino Night Zone and Sonic Hedgehog 2. So that's all good. Although pretty much there's going to be a couple of mechanics here. As you can see, there's like all these flashing lights and obstacles with LEDs. Basically all flashy, making it look really, really pleasing to the eye. And I do approve of it a lot. There's especially one thing that I like, and that's the slot machines, but we'll probably get onto those a bit later. Depends if I show them off, because they're optional. You don't really need them, but it's just in case if you want to get more rings. And trust me, doing that is good if you want to try to get the Chaos Emeralds, because you know you need 50 rings, and I don't really have to go on about that. So yeah. I want to be careful though of where I'm jumping down, because there could be spikes, so you know what, you want to be a bit wary of where you're falling sometimes, because you may come across a spike, and that's no good. Also, spin dashing is key in this area. I just love to spin dash up those sort of things, because you go up, down, then you go up higher, and you know, but it just gives a perfect essence of speed if you ask me. Although, I want to be a bit careful with where I'm going at the moment, just in case if there's a checkpoint. So, I want to slow down if possible. Because this is probably my only gripe with this area. It is so hard to control your speed sometimes, like, because Sonic just goes bouncing everywhere. And you're like, wait, where am I going? That was one thing what I meant though by these slot machines. Because, you saw right there when I went in there, I got a couple of rings. Well, points really, but you know, it's type of the fun, it gives like an arcade feel, and I really, really approve of it. I swear I'm saying the same thing. The one thing I do hate though in Sonic Hedgehog 2 is this. I kind of regret doing, you know, a playthrough of the game with Tails by my side. He gets in the way a lot. There will be times where you want to defeat an enemy and Tails will do it for you. And while that's handy, it can get so annoying, I tell ya. Because, you know, sometimes you will try to hit an enemy and all, but when he hits it, it means you're immune to the next enemy. Oh no, sorry, vulnerable to the next enemy. And you know, you're most likely going to get hit. And sometimes he'll just cost you your death. Which isn't very nice of him. Although I think you know that one already. Either way, let's just explore around. Did I miss something? I think I did. Well, looks like we're going to have to get the checkpoint into the next zone. Because really, I wanted to get the checkpoint in here so that I could get, you know, into the next special stage and acquire the Chaos Emerald. Looks like we're going to have to do it in the second act. And, oh, really? I was one ring away from getting an extra life. Because if you're unfamiliar with Sonic, well, you shouldn't be. It's similar to Mario, you know, where you collect 100 coins and you gain an extra life. In this one, it's basically, you know, you gain 100 rings and you gain an extra life. So, it's a little bit different, I guess. They like to spice things up or something. And oh god. Speed shoes. Now, why these speed shoes are handy in the game? Oh god, sometimes you just go way too fast and you just can't control where you're going. I mean, especially in Casino Night Zone, since, you know, when you hit flippers and everything, you go bouncing all over the place. Doing it with the speed shoes is pretty tricky, if you ask me. That's just my personal opinion. Also, the music in this area. Really, really cool. Really, really catchy. But it's still not my favourite. And to be honest, I'll give you a clue as to which is my favourite song. It's the next zone coming up. But I don't really want to give it away, you know, for the sake of spoiling the name and all that. So I'm going to button it for now, I guess. Who says button it? I do see some weird things in my LPs sometimes. But I have 50 rings, so how about we access the special stage? And honestly, I can't really think of a lot to talk about, because due to this being hard, I do have a lot to say on this special stage. You know where I was saying, when there's bits where you got to turn, if you keep to the bit that's most visible, in other words, where there's the shadow, so in other words, if it's going to the left, then, you know, you have to go to the left, and if it's going to the right, you have to go to the right. Just do that, because the rings will always appear, and spikes never seem to appear on, like, the left or right side of it. So make sure you do that if you want to stay alive and collect all the rings. Also, you know every time where you collect something, or when you pass the checkpoints and it says cool, doesn't that hand look a bit familiar? I mean, its colour is red after all, and Sonic's like blue, Tails is orange, and who else is red? I think he's from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but that's about as much as information as I'm going to give away, so I'm going to button it for now. Why do I keep saying that? That's a bit weird. I have no idea what I'm saying most of the time. But yeah, look, red. Okay, I'll give it away. This is my theory. I think that character there is giving us a hint as to who the next character is in the next Sonic game. And who else would it be other than Knuckles the Echidna? I mean, he's red after all, what do you expect? At least that's what I think. I could be wrong, but if I'm cool, that would be pretty good. And I think we're coming up to the last bit. So now we're about to acquire the Chaos Emerald. And this took me a bit of a while trying to acquire this one, because like I said, the special stages are trial and error. You mess up, you try again. Mess up again, you try again. You just keep trying and trying and trying until you remember every little bit and detail of the stage. And I like it actually. Gives me a bit of a challenge and all. Because like I said, the Chaos Emeralds are so not easy to get in this game. At least they're easy to acquire though. Because I mean, like in Sonic Advance 2, if you watch my playthrough, the way you acquired them was you collected 7 special rings, each hidden throughout each area in the levels. And you have to make it towards the end of, you know, towards the goal with them. All 7. And if you die, they reset and you have to find them all over again. And if you fail the special stage, you have to collect them all over again. Whereas in this one, it's 50 rings, lamppost, done. So I'm glad they definitely, you know, toned down the difficulty a bit. Because that's something I think they've been doing a lot, actually, in most recent Sonic games. They've made the difficulty a bit difficult, although really that was in the past in the Advance series. Because while I was saying, you know, Sonic Advance 2 had a really dumb way of collecting Chaos Emeralds, it gets much worse in Sonic Advance 3. Oh god, it gets much worse, definitely. Because when I was saying about collect 7 special rings, in Sonic Advance 3 you have to collect 10 chows. And you have to use each character's abilities to find them. And once you do that, you then go through the levels again and acquire this key. And then when you get the key, then you get into the special stage. And if you fail the special stage, you then have to find the key again. And in order to get the key, you have to complete the stage. You can't just collect the key and then exit out of it by pausing it. You actually have to clear the level. So if there's, you know, a particular zone where a level goes on for like, I don't know, around 6 minutes, then bad luck for you, because pretty much you have to go through it again and collect the key. So that's pretty bad. Also, this boss is done. I didn't really have much time to say. All I've pretty much done is this. The key to defeating it for me is mainly just spin dashing. If you spin dash up a wall and then just jump and hope to land on him, and then just keep holding down and spinning around, you should be good. But I think that'll do it for this episode, because I only like to do 2 zones. Well, you should know that. Go watch the first part if not. And I guess with that, I will see you guys in the next one.